What would you do if you knew the apocalypse was coming? For Emily, a student at UC Berkeley, this wasn't a hypothetical question, it was her terrifying new reality. It started on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Emily received an urgent call from her parents, both researchers at the CDC. Their voices were strained, frantic. A highly lethal and contagious virus was rampaging through downtown San Francisco. The infected exhibited extreme aggression. It was only a matter of time before it reached Berkeley. Stock up now, barricade yourselves, trust no one. The call ended, followed immediately by a wire transfer and a detailed survival guide. Emily didn't hesitate. She immediately called her 3 roommates: Sarah, the avid rock climber; Jessica, the organized student government type; and Christine, the kind-hearted, sometimes naive one. As a final act of conscience, Emily sent a vague message to her class group chat: "Heard there's a nasty flu variant going around. Maybe stock up on some dorm snacks." Then, the 4 of them rushed to the campus Target. Knowing time was critical, they had to be discreet. They convinced the manager they were sourcing for a major sorority event and got permission to pull supplies directly from the stockroom. Their shopping list was pragmatic and precise. Food, protein bars, energy gels, mess meals ready to eat, canned goods, peanut butter, oatmeal, and chocolate, anything calorie-dense and non-perishable. Water, dozens of water bottle cases, several large water storage containers, and a water filter. Supplies, bulk toilet paper, feminine hygiene products, trash bags, basic toiletries. Medical and safety, they cleared the shelves of ibuprofen, vitamins, antibiotic ointment, and all the hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol they could find. Tools and power, every power bank, battery, and flashlight available. A multi-tool, waterproof matches. Warmth, extra sleeping bags, and emergency blankets. The real game changer came from Sarah. She knew Mark, an engineering grad student, and his friend Ryan, the star quarterback of the football team. These 2 reinforcements actually believed their crazy story. They not only brought crucial portable solar panels but also helped them reinforce the dorm room door and window with materials from Home Depot. As they left, Ryan even handed over a few baseball bats and cans of bear spray for protection. Once prepared, the 4 roommates sat in silence. At 5:32 p.m., the campus calm shattered. Distant screams, car alarms. Peering through the blinds, they saw people running frantically, pursued by figures moving with a grotesque jerking gait. Their reinforced doors shuddered under heavy blows. The initial chaos lasted for hours, the hallway filled with a symphony of panic. They decided on rotating watch shifts. But an internal threat emerged almost immediately. Christine, driven by compassion, repeatedly wanted to open the door for people in the hallway. Emily knew this save-everyone mentality could get them all killed. After Christine fell asleep, Emily and Sarah made a tough call, using shoelaces to restrain her to the bed. It was their first hard lesson. Survival sometimes meant brutal choices. Within days, the power died, then the cell networks failed. They relied on solar panels to keep phones charged, sweltering in the airtight room. They watched fraternity brothers across the way become balcony spiders, risking their lives climbing between rooms for supplies. They witnessed one man shove another down a stairwell over a single bag of groceries. Fear was stripping humanity bare. A turning point came in the 5th week. On a balcony of the opposite apartment building, Mark and Ryan held up a sign with a walkie-talkie frequency. They dug out old, forgotten 2-way radios and tuned in. Instantly, their headsets crackled to life with other survivors' voices. This primitive network had reconnected them. It was also when Christine's poor judgment nearly doomed them. She contacted her off-campus boyfriend, Jake, over the radio. He claimed he had a Hummer and could rescue them for a price, their supplies. Seeing through the ruse, Emily packed boxes for Christine filled with old textbooks and garbage. Sure enough, Jake and his friends arrived, used fireworks to lure the infected away, loaded the boxes, and then drove off without a second glance at Christine, who was too scared to shimmy down the drainpipe. Humbled and heartbroken, Christine finally understood. When Emily revealed the truth about the boxes, the 4 roommates embraced, their bond forged stronger in the crucible of betrayal. A fragile peace settled in, broken with the onset of winter. They managed to catch a garbled government emergency broadcast. Abnormal climate patterns were causing massive hordes of infected to migrate south. All survivors were ordered to head to a military safe zone in the south. The broadcast described the terrifying phenomenon of the infected merging into massive tidal waves of bodies. Their time was up. Ryan took charge. Over the radios, he coordinated with other survivors, forming a small group. In a stunning move, he managed to get them access to a school bus. Using RC cars with speakers attached to create diversions, they moved their supplies and slid down bedsheet ropes from second-floor windows, embarking on a desperate journey across California. Hope was short-lived. Passing through a small town, their bus tires were shredded by spike strips laid by road bandits. Forced to abandon the vehicle, they fled for the relative shelter of a Walmart. In the frantic, terrifying run, Ryan was bitten on the arm by an infected person hiding behind a shelf. Shoving Emily into an employee break room, he made his last stand, pulling down the security shutter from the outside. As the Horde descended, he pressed a dog tag into Emily's hand. "Find my sister Jennifer at Camp Pendleton. Tell her I'm sorry," he said. Emily clutched the metal tag, watching helplessly as the brave quarterback was swallowed by the tide of infected. Leaderless and stranded, the survivors were in dire straits. They encountered a convoy of heavily armed men in modified trucks. Too scared to approach, they hid. But the group found them that night. Just as a confrontation seemed inevitable, the leader, a sharp-eyed man named Sergeant Madison, flashed his credentials: National Guard Rescue Division. They were saved. The soldiers had mistaken them for local looters. Escorted by the National Guard, they finally reached a secure processing zone and were eventually transferred to a larger refuge. There, Emily was reunited with her parents, who had fought their way to her. Later, she fulfilled her promise, finding Ryan's sister Jennifer and delivering his message. In the end, the catastrophe subsided. Emily and her roommates returned to Berkeley, finished their degrees, and moved forward with their lives. Years later, Emily crossed paths with Sergeant Madison again, under calmer circumstances. Their shared experience became a foundation for something more. The memory of their desperate survival in the dorms, the lessons in humanity, sacrifice, and loss, remained etched in their souls, a somber, permanent reminder of the fine line between civilization and chaos.